In this video, I'm going to be talking about niche fragrances that really don't get enough of attention. You know, people don't really mention these. Just a small list of fragrances that I think are, they really need more attention here. So I'm going to start with one that I really like. I don't really hear about it too often. This is Morning Chess from Wilhelm Parfumerie. This is primarily a leather fragrance, and it's not a very strong leather fragrance, but it does the job well. You know, if you're looking for something leathery, rustic, kind of has an old-fashioned classic vibe to it, this is a really nice option. It's because some leather fragrances are, really rough, really dry, really strong, even too strong. But this has more of a smooth leatheriness, kind of like old leather, like an old leather gloves or, baseball mix, just worn down, has a nice warm smell to it. Very, very unique in how it approaches the leather note. I think it's very attractive, very warm. Without being too warm, it can definitely be pulled off as an all year, all season type of fragrance, even though it does do a little bit better in colder weather. But longevity, again, it's not a super strong fragrance. It's meant to be more of a smooth, mellow type of thing. So longevity, maybe about 6 hours, maybe 7, but it is a very unique, very attractive, leathery fragrance. Again, more of a classic smell to it rather than a more modern approach to things, but I like that kind of classic smell that it has, very attractive and smooth. But moving on from that one, maybe you're not into leather, then I would say one that I really, really like, and that I also don't hear too much about, Incident Diplomatique from Jovoy. Jovoy makes a whole bunch of really nice fragrances, but this is definitely one of my favorites. To me, because I've tried a lot of their fragrances, I think this one, it just smells the most unique and the most prominent. It has a good strength, good longevity, good projection, and the main notes that it has are vetiver, 2 types of vetiver, Haitian vetiver and Java vetiver, and there's some other notes in there as well. But the vetiver is really the shining part of the entire fragrance. It's earthy, it's a little bit musky, a little bit grassy, woodsy. Vetiver can kind of smell like a lot of things, but it's definitely a natural, kind of dry and earthy type of tone. And this does it really well. Usually, vetiver is a background note in a lot of fragrances. You'll find it in the base notes or the middle notes of a huge variety of fragrances, but rarely does it take the center stage, and this is where it does take the center stage, which is, again, very unique. It gives a very unique smell. I believe this is a unisex option as well, so it's very versatile. You could definitely wear this pretty much all year. It's a warm fragrance, but not too warm, where it's, only limited to the colder seasons. And it's not super long-lasting, but again, long-lasting enough. You won't have to keep reapplying it throughout the day. So this is just kind of a good all-purpose type of fragrance. If you're looking for something that's, not mainstream, you want something more niche, more unique smelling, but also has some good earthiness, woodsiness, just a more natural type of smell to it, while still having a good strength and longevity and things like that. So this is pretty much just a good all-around option if you want to go, more of a niche route. Then, if you want to go kind of ultra luxury, then I would say from Clive Christian, you could go for Cashmere Musk. This is really, really nice. This is definitely special occasion material. This is primarily, from the name Cashmere Musk, you're gonna get that really warm, soft cashmere note. Then you're also gonna get more of the musky note. But there's also actually some spices. There's some pink pepper, Sichuan pepper going on, things like that. There's also some green notes thrown in there. So it's really kind of blended up in a very particular way with very particular notes. But this is definitely, because I've tried it before, what I like about it is just that warm musk that it has. It's like a soft but warm musk. it's not super animalistic, it's not super this or that, it's really smooth. It brings out the, the cashmere that it has, kind of a soft, velvety, I don't know, almost leathery but not quite type of smell to it, and really just very, very unique. You don't come across fragrances like this too often. It just has that smell that's just really hard to describe unless you smell it for yourself. But you could tell just by smelling this that it is a luxury fragrance. And it, definitely is off the beaten path. It's doing its own thing. It just has, it's in its own world, basically, a fragrance compared to more mainstream options. But definitely a very high-class luxury option here. Then, one that I've pretty much never ever heard of from anyone else is this one from Chantecaille, Vetiver Cedar. So, Vetiver Cedar. This is very nice. Again, I never hardly hear about this fragrance. It seems to be very niche, but it's very nice if you like vetiver and cedar. Now, obviously, the Javois fragrance has the vetiver very prominent. This also has a pretty prominent vetiver note, then paired with the cedar, which is a nice mixture because they kind of complement each other in that way. The cedar is very grounding in comparison to the vetiver, which is, I would say, a slightly lighter note compared to wood notes like cedar. But this is great because it smells very much like a forest. If you like that natural, rugged, kind of lumberjack smell, this is really nice. It's kind of on the lighter side, so it's not going to last super long, maybe about 5-ish hours. But besides that, it does smell very nice, very natural, very likable, unintrusive, inoffensive, So definitely a good option if you like those types of notes and you really want something that is out of the spotlight, something very unique. Then the last one that I have is one that I tried recently that is just a very interesting, fun thing to wear. This is Hypnotizing Fire from The Harmonist. This is a sweet, spicy fragrance. This is, it mixes very particular notes. It has pimiento mixed with praline, mixed with cloves, mixed with rose and vanilla and like resins. It has a whole bunch of stuff mixed together. A lot of notes that you wouldn't even expect would go well together, but they do go well together. To, again, create a spicy, sweet type of fragrance. Now, it does have praline, and I'm usually not a big fan of the praline note. Like, that's a note that's found in La Vie est Belle, which is kind of like my arch nemesis of fragrances, but this does it completely different. This mixes the praline with the spices and creates this just very interesting smell. Like, it's kind of tingly, it's kind of warm, but then it has these really heavy notes like apoplinax and resins and things like that. So, I mean, it's called Hypnotizing Fire, so again, it's just really intense, kind of smoldering, hot, warm type of fragrance. Very nice if you want something, way out of the box, just something interesting and fun to wear. But that is pretty much my list here of kind of niche, out-of-the-way fragrances that at least I don't hear about too often. Some of these I've never heard of, in contrast to, just having them. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, you could leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos like these throughout the week, so stick around for those.